The 2025 NBA playoffs proved that dynasties are gone and parity rules the league. For the 7th straight year, a new champion will be crowned, a first in NBA history. Thanks to rule changes in the latest collective bargaining agreement, Commissioner Adam Silver's plan for balance is working better than expected. This postseason delivered shocking upsets, emotional farewells, clutch moments, and breakout stars. From legends fighting their last battles to young players rising fast, the playoffs felt like a thrilling movie full of chaos and beauty. Here's every key storyline from the 2025 NBA playoffs, explained in one exciting ride: Pacers versus Bucks. In a night packed with drama, tension, and a little chaos, the Indiana Pacers pulled off one of the most unforgettable finishes in their playoff history. Down late in overtime, it looked like the moment had slipped through their fingers until they flipped the script in just 29 seconds. Yes, the Pacers were on the ropes. Halliburton had missed open looks late in regulation. His shoulders dropped. Fans gasped. It felt like the moment was too big. But like any good playoff story, the hero wasn't done. With the season on the line, Halliburton turned regret into redemption. Down 118 to 111 with 40 seconds left in overtime, Andrew Nembhard sparked the final push with a deep three. Then he stole the inbound pass like a playoff veteran and fed it to Halliburton, who turned it into a three-point play. Suddenly it was 118 to 117. Then chaos struck again. Gary Trent Jr. fumbled a crucial pass, and Halliburton didn't hesitate. He blew by Giannis Antetokounmpo for the go-ahead layup with 1.3 seconds left. Final score: Pacers 119, Bucks 118. If this sounds like a movie, that's because it almost felt like one. And like any great scene, there was some unexpected comedy too. As players exchanged shoves at midcourt postgame, it was none other than Halliburton's dad, who kicked off the drama by storming onto the court to talk to Giannis. Meanwhile, Tyrese climbed the scorer's table, arms raised, crowd screaming, channeling his inner Reggie Miller. A new Indiana legend was born. Head coach Rick Carlisle called it one of the all-time great Pacers wins, and it's hard to argue. Despite early struggles, the team finished the job with grit and chaos, and Halliburton delivered when it mattered. He ended the night with 26 points and 10 assists, improving to a perfect 9-0 at home in the playoffs. Of course, it wasn't a solo act. Miles Turner dropped 21 points and grabbed 9 rebounds. Aaron Nesmith added a gritty double-double with 19 points and 12 boards. Nembhard was everywhere. The entire team clawed and scraped its way to victory, like a bunch of underdogs who didn't know they were supposed to lose. On the other side, Giannis did everything he could: 30 points, 20 rebounds, 13 assists, but it still wasn't enough. Gary Trent Jr. added 33 points and some big threes in overtime, but his 2 turnovers sealed Milwaukee's fate. And his full court shot at the buzzer, let's say it was more Space Jam than Steph Curry. Milwaukee's season ends in frustration. Damian Lillard missed the game after tearing his Achilles tendon in Game 4, and Doc Rivers tried everything, switching up the starting lineup, rotating players, but nothing could stop the collapse. That's 3 straight first-round exits for the Bucks. Not exactly a banner moment. When Giannis was asked if he believed he could win another ring in Milwaukee, he shut it down quickly. "I'm not going to do this." A silence. That said everything. And now Indiana marches into the Eastern Conference semifinals to face top-seeded Cleveland. Game 1 is Sunday. The Cavaliers had better be ready because of Halliburton and the Pacers. They're not just here to play, they're here to make history. Knicks versus Pistons. They say the playoffs reveal character, and the Knicks just wrote a 6-game thriller that tested every heartbeat in New York. Facing the Pistons, the Knicks won a gritty series where 4 straight games were decided by 3 points or less. Game 3 summed it up best. Karl Anthony Towns dropped 31 points on 55.6% shooting, grabbed 8 boards, swatted 2 shots, and drained 4 threes. Brunson wasn't far behind with 30 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds, passing Latrell Sprewell for 10th on the Knicks' all-time playoff scoring list. Mikal Bridges added 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 assists, and 2 blocks, while OG Anunoby chipped in 22 points and 2 steals. That marked the first time since 1972 that 4 Knicks starters scored 20-plus in a playoff game. Detroit didn't roll over. Cade Cunningham led the charge with 24 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. Tim Hardaway Jr. torched the arc with 24 points and 7 threes. Jalen Duren added 16 points on 70% shooting, plus 8 rebounds and 3 assists. In Game 2, Detroit tied the series behind Cade's 33 points and Dennis Schroeder's 20 off the bench, but the Knicks struck back in Game 1 and 3, with Towns putting up 23, 11, and 5 in the opener, and Brunson leading all scorers with 34. The Knicks didn't just survive, they delivered history. Towns became the first Knicks center since Patrick Ewing 1997 to post 30-plus points in a playoff game. Bridges had his first playoff game with 20-plus points, multiple steals, and blocks. The connections ran deep, ex-teammates, hometown ties, but the scoreboard didn't care. New York moves on, Detroit moves out, and somewhere Madison Square Garden is already humming. Cavaliers versus Heat. When it rains, it pours, but for Miami, this wasn't just rain. It was a full-blown Cleveland thunderstorm. The Cavaliers didn't just sweep the Heat. They pressure washed them out of the playoffs with a 138-83 win in Game 4, the biggest series-ending blowout in NBA history. That's right, a 55-point win to close the curtains. The Heat didn't just lose, they got erased. Cleveland led by 39 at halftime, the third largest halftime lead in playoff history. It was like watching a video game where one kid had all the cheat codes and the other just unplugged the controller. Every Cavs player looked like an all-star, and every Heat timeout looked like a therapy session. This 55-point win wasn't just personal, it was historical. The Cavaliers broke the record for the biggest series-clinching win ever. The previous record, a 51-point Thunder win from just a few weeks ago. OKC. Your moment in the sun didn't last long. Now Cleveland waits for the winner of the Pacers-Bucks series. Indiana leads 3-1. If those two teams were watching this game, they probably just added a few extra film sessions and maybe a prayer or two. This wasn't just a win, it was a message. The Cavaliers aren't here to play around. They're here to dominate, dance, and possibly rewrite a few history books along the way. And Miami, well, let's just say their off-season started early. Maybe next year, Heat fans. Just maybe not against Cleveland. Celtics versus Magic. Boston didn't just beat their opponent in 5 games. They did it with style, rhythm, and a secret weapon named Peyton Pritchard. While the Stars got the headlines, Pritchard, the man with the baby face and sniper aim, lit up the series from the bench. He didn't just help Boston win, he won hearts and the 2024-25 Sixth Man of the Year award too. That's right, Mr. Reliable is officially the NBA's best bench player, joining Celtics legends like Kevin McHale, Bill Walton, and Malcolm Brogdon. In his 5th season, Pritchard averaged career highs across the board, 14.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. He shot 47.2% from the field and a fiery 40.7% from deep. And get this, he scored 1,079 points off the bench, the most in the entire league. That's not a spark plug, that's a full-blown engine. He also hit 255 three-pointers this season, the 5th most in the NBA and the 2nd most in Celtics history. Most impressively, 246 came off the bench, setting a new NBA record for bench threes in a season. Talk about making history without even starting the game. Thanks to Pritchard's energy and sharpshooting, Boston finished 61-21, the 3rd best record in the league. They secured the number 2 seed in the East, and yes, they're looking very dangerous. There's a saying in basketball, it's not who starts the game, it's who finishes it. Well, Pritchard may not have started many games, but he sure helped Boston finish them strong. And with him on the court, even the bench looks like a starting lineup. Thunder versus Grizzlies. Oklahoma City didn't just win, they made history. In Game 1 of their first-round series, the Thunder crushed the Memphis Grizzlies 131-80. That's a 51-point win, the biggest Game 1 blowout in NBA playoff history, and the 5th largest postseason margin ever. And the scariest part? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the league's scoring champ, scored just 15 points. Aaron Wiggins led with 21, Jalen Williams added 20, and Chet Holmgren had 19 points and 10 rebounds. OKC shot 50.5% from the field while holding Memphis to 34.4%. The Thunder even went on a 20-0 run in the second quarter, taking a 55-22 lead and heading into halftime up by 35. At that point, it felt like Memphis needed a miracle, or maybe just a timeout that lasted until next season. For context, only 2 playoff games in history had a larger margin than 58 points. Denver over New Orleans in 2009, and the Minneapolis Lakers over the St. Louis Hawks in 1956. This Thunder win wasn't far off, but the dominance didn't stop there. In Game 3, Oklahoma City pulled off a historic comeback. Down 26 at halftime, they stormed back and won. setting a franchise playoff record for the biggest halftime comeback. That's not just heart, that's hunger. Meanwhile, Memphis struggled. Ja Morant scored 17 points on 6 of 17 shooting, and Jaren Jackson Jr. had just 4 points on 2 of 13. Coach Tuomas Islo, coaching his first playoff series after 9 regular season games, tried to stay hopeful. Only one way to go from here, up. Coach Mark Daigneault, on the other hand, isn't letting OKC get too comfortable. They'll be better next game, he said, but if the Thunder keep playing like this, it might not matter. Timberwolves versus Lakers. The Minnesota Timberwolves didn't just beat the Lakers, they out-toughed, out-muscled, and out-survived them in 5 gritty games. And for the first time, the Lakers were knocked out in the first round as a top 3 seed. Ouch. Game 5 wasn't exactly a shooting clinic. Minnesota missed 40 of their 47 three-point shots. At one point, they went 0 for 17 from deep. It was like the rim had a do not disturb sign. But guess what? They still won. Why? 2 words, Rudy Gobert. Gobert played like a giant among guards, putting up a playoff career-high 27 points and grabbing 24 rebounds. The Lakers tried a centerless lineup and Gobert responded by turning the paint into his gym. Feels great, but it's not about proving anyone wrong, he said after the game. It's about winning a championship. Translation, this wasn't personal, it was business. Despite their cold shooting, the Wolves stayed mentally strong. Head coach Chris Finch said, "We were the tougher team mentally and physically," and he was right. They stuck together, gritted their teeth, and waited for just one shot to drop. That came from Mike Conley. His clutch 3 with 1 minute 22 seconds left shut the door on the Lakers for good. Anthony Edwards had a quiet night by his standards, finishing with 15 points and 11 rebounds, but it was enough. Minnesota won 3 straight games and sent LeBron James and Luka Doncic packing from their first playoff run together. Meanwhile, the Lakers, they looked like a super team on paper, but papers don't grab rebounds. Luka had 28 points and 9 assists, LeBron added 22, and Rui Hachimura chipped in 23. But in the end, they've lost in the first round twice in a row and have only made it past the first round since their 2020 bubble title. Coach JJ Redick summed it up like a man who just finished a really tough group project. Disappointed but proud, we tried to make it work and came up a little short. Now, the Wolves move on to the second round for the second year in a row, something the franchise has never done before. They'll face either Houston or Golden State next, but one thing's clear. Even if Minnesota can't hit threes, they can hit hard. Nuggets versus Clippers. The Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers gave basketball fans a playoff series to remember, going all the way to 7 games. Now the first Game 7 of the 2025 NBA playoffs is set for Saturday night. Denver has a home court advantage, which means the crowd will be loud and proud, but the Clippers have already shown that they can win on the road. They took Game 2 in Denver's arena after all. For the Nuggets, everything depends on 2 stars, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Murray has been nearly unstoppable when playing at home with the fans cheering. In the 3 home games, he's been scoring about 29 points per game, with great shooting percentages from the field, 3-point line, and free throws. Plus, he grabs rebounds, dishes assists, and even steals the ball, all while playing over 43 minutes a game. That's like running a marathon while keeping a full-time job. Before jumping in, please subscribe to our channel to catch every fresh NBA scoop, expert prediction, and all the updates on your favorite teams. Murray's overall playoff numbers are solid, averaging 24 points, 6.5 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. But when he's feeling it, like in Game 5 when he scored 43 points, he can change the whole game. Interim coach David Adelman will want to keep the duo of Jokic and Murray working together early and often. This 2-man game could be Denver's secret sauce. Jokic has been a monster too, averaging a triple-double, over 25 points, nearly 12 rebounds, and more than 10 assists per game. He especially shines at home, passing out assists like Oprah, giving away cars. Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook have been the biggest winners of Jokic's court vision, scoring well thanks to his smart play. Michael Porter Jr. is another player to watch. He's struggled a bit, especially on the road, but when Denver wins, he plays better. The mile-high altitude in Denver may be his favorite flavor of air. On the Clippers side, Coach Ty Lue will lean on his big 3, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Norman Powell. Together, they scored 79 points in the must-win Game 6 in Los Angeles. That trio has been the Clippers' go-to scoring group in this back-and-forth series. Kawhi Leonard looks like his old, calm, and clutch self. In the games the Clippers won, he averaged 29 points and grabbed 8 rebounds with great shooting. In losses, his numbers dipped a bit, but were still solid. Leonard is a two-time NBA champion and the team leader, so expect Coach Lue to call plays that let Kawhi take control and make big moves. Harden knows it's now or never. With Game 7 on the road, the pressure is high. He scored 28 points with 8 assists in Game 6's win and will have to keep attacking to give the Clippers their best shot to move on. Powell has been the X factor for LA. In games at home, he's been their second best scorer, shooting very well overall and from three-point range. But in Denver, the altitude seems to slow him down. His numbers drop significantly, so Harden and Leonard will need to create good chances for him to get open shots. Another important player for the Clippers is Ivica Zubac. He was great in the regular season and has stepped up even more in the playoffs, scoring nearly 19 points per game on very efficient shooting. But Zubac's real value might be on defense, especially guarding Jokic. It's not easy to stop the Nuggets superstar, but Zubac has done a good job, limiting Jokic's scoring better than others. Jokic shoots about 56% against most Clippers defenders, but only about 45% when Zubac is on him. Coach Ty Lue will try to make Jokic work hard on offense, forcing him to score more instead of just passing. By keeping Zubac on Jokic, the Clippers hope to keep their stars fresh on offense. This series has been a roller coaster, starting with an overtime thriller in Game 1, followed by many close games. The Game 7 showdown should be just as exciting. Warriors vs. Rockets. The Golden State Warriors, 7th seeded, pulled off a big surprise by beating the 2nd seeded Houston Rockets in 7 games. This kind of upset has only happened 7 times in NBA history, so it's rare, like finding a parking spot right by the front door on game night. In a game full of drama, Buddy Hield became the unexpected hero. In Game 7, he set a record by making 9 three-pointers, scoring 33 points on 9 of 11 shooting from long range. Meanwhile, Stephen Curry added 22 points with 14 coming in the last quarter, helping the Warriors close out the series with a 103-89 win at the stunned Toyota Center. Warriors coach Steve Kerr admitted, "We were lucky to get out of this series. That was an impressive show of fighting spirit." And he was right. Hield, who didn't score in Game 6, came out firing early, hitting 6 threes in the first half and helping Golden State build a 12-point lead by halftime. Curry stayed quiet for most of the game but woke up in the fourth quarter with a burst of scoring and even a trademark night-night celebration that silenced the home crowd. Draymond Green, adding 16 points, couldn't help but joke about the Rockets' history with the Warriors. This win made Golden State only the 7th number 7 seed to win a first-round series in NBA history. They also knocked out Houston for the 5th time in playoff history, dating back to battles against James Harden's teams. Across the 7 games, both teams scored 728 points, making it one of the closest playoff series ever. Talk about a scoring tie. Jimmy Butler, who joined the Rockets midseason, had a strong game with 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Curry helped out too with 10 rebounds and 7 assists. Now the Warriors get ready to face the Minnesota Timberwolves in the semifinals starting Tuesday. For Houston, Amen Thompson led with 24 points. Fred VanVleet, the team's star in games 5 and 6, was held to 17 points. Alperen Sengun had a double-double with 21 points and 14 rebounds, but wasn't very efficient shooting. And Jalen Green scored just 8 points. Coach Ime Udoka said, "We all expected to keep playing, it's a letdown." Golden State pulled off this win without Gary Payton too, who missed the game due to illness, but the rest of the team stepped up. Hield grabbed the spotlight in a way no one expected. "Tonight was fun," he said with a big smile. "I just tried to be myself." And in that moment, it all clicked. With only 4 teams left in the 2025 NBA playoffs, none have won a championship since the NBA and ABA merged in 1976. The New York Knicks will face the Indiana Pacers in a 2000 Eastern Conference Finals rematch. The Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Minnesota Timberwolves on the western side. Of these 4 teams, only the Knicks have ever won a championship, and that was way back in 1973. So, no recent champs here, but plenty of hunger. At the start of the playoffs, the prediction was Thunder over Celtics in the finals. Well, that's out the window now. Time for new predictions. As the conference finals begin, and maybe, just maybe, one of these underdogs will finally break the long drought. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss the latest NBA gossip, predictions, and updates, especially about your favorite team. Moving forward, yeah. Indiana Pacers versus New York Knicks. The New York Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 2-1 in the regular season, outscoring them by 27 points over those 3 matches. But hold on, one of those Knicks wins happened when Miles Turner wasn't playing for Indiana, and in another game, Indiana's Andrew Nembhard was out. So using the regular season to predict the playoffs feels like guessing the weather by watching one sunny day. The Pacers changed a lot after a slow start. They began the season with 9 wins and 14 losses, but finished strong, going 41-18 after that, and their form improved even more in the playoffs with a combined 49-20 record. The question is this: can the Knicks offense keep up with Indiana's fast and powerful attack? So far in the playoffs, New York's offense scores 110.7 points per 100 possessions, while Indiana scores 117.3, a noticeable difference. The Knicks have been a bit better on defense, allowing 110.6 points compared to Indiana's 111.9, but slowing down Indiana's fast break is easier said than done. This series comes down to 2 stars, Tyrese Haliburton for the Pacers and Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. Both are amazing players who shine when the game is on the line. Haliburton is a master passer who loves fast games, hitting teammates with tricky cross-court passes while keeping the ball safe. Brunson is a scoring machine, especially when he has the ball alone against defenders. It looks like Brunson will mostly guard Nembhard, while Haliburton will match up against either Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges, but don't be surprised if they switch it up, hunting for better matchups. Whoever defends Haliburton for the Knicks will need to fight hard on the offensive glass for second chance points. No sitting back allowed. One of the most interesting parts of this series will be the battle between transition defense and offensive rebounds. The Knicks love crashing the offensive boards, especially when they use their 2-big lineup with Mitchell Robinson. They want those second chances, but here's the catch. If the Knicks miss a rebound, the Pacers will sprint down the court for easy fast break points. Indiana is one of the fastest teams in the league, so every Knicks player who chases a rebound means one fewer player getting back to defend. It's a tricky balance. The player under the most pressure is Karl Anthony Towns. Indiana is great at shooting inside the paint. They hit almost 57% of their shots close to the basket, which is 4th best in the NBA. Towns has some rim protection issues, so that the Pacers will test him a lot. He must stay strong in the paint and be smart about fouls. If Towns plays his best basketball, he could open the series for New York. The Knicks need Cat to get hot and stay hot. So how can the Knicks win this series? First, they must attack the offensive glass hard and guard Haliburton like he's carrying the last slice of pizza at a party. The wing matchups look good for New York. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart against Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, and Pascal Siakam, but Indiana has better depth and fresher legs going into the series. New York has more star power on paper, but Indiana's role players are playing great basketball right now, and Haliburton has a special gift for setting them up with easy baskets. This promises to be a classic series. The Knicks have the home court, but Indiana might have the edge. The Pacers are coming in strong and confident, ready to push their fast-paced game to the limit. Pacers win in 7 games. Sorry, Knicks fans, sometimes the underdog surprises, but it's the Pacers' moment this time. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Minnesota Timberwolves. This season has often felt like one long coronation of the Thunder's greatness, but of course the playoffs rarely go easy for such a young team. Oklahoma City got pushed to the edge by Denver in the second round. They only looked like the best team after Aaron Gordon got hurt with a hamstring injury in Game 7. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Timberwolves never faced that kind of stress in their second round series because they got lucky with injuries too. Stephen Curry was limited to just 13 minutes total after pulling his hamstring, helping Minnesota win easily in 5 games. Sometimes playoff luck is about who gets hurt first, but the Wolves and Thunder have more in common than just good timing with injuries. Both teams are led by young superstar guards, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for OKC and Anthony Edwards for Minnesota. Both squads have strong benches with players they develop themselves, and both teams build their game on tough physical defense. Minnesota had the best defense last season, and Oklahoma City took that crown this year. The winner of this series will probably be the favorite to win the NBA Finals. Both coaches have many strategies to try and are looking for any edge. The Thunder's defense is their best weapon. They force more turnovers than any other NBA team, which is huge. They kept Alex Caruso quiet during the regular season, but unleashed him in the playoffs, and he's already won games for them. Caruso's defense stopped Nikola Jokic in Game 7 against Denver, and now he will try to slow down Julius Randle. Caruso has always done a good job guarding Randle since their Chicago vs. New York days. If OKC shuts down Randle, Minnesota's offense will struggle. On the other side, the Wolves still depend on Anthony Edwards to run the show. Edwards has gotten much better at making smart plays this postseason, but the Thunder have Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, and Jalen Williams ready to guard him. OKC loves to speed up the game, and they will test Edwards' patience. The Wolves have had problems with turnovers all year, making the Thunder a tough match for them. It's tough for any team to win when OKC forces their usual number of steals and bad passes. Minnesota also has good defenders to guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Rudy Gobert, the best rim protector in the game, to help behind them. During the series, SGA will face Jaden McDaniels, Edwards, and his cousin Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The Wolves usually play drop coverage on defense with Gobert protecting the rim, but after seeing Denver's zone defense work so well last round, they might try that too. Jalen Williams had a rough time against Denver shooting poorly, so Minnesota hopes he improves. Chet Holmgren also struggled last round, and his matchup with Randle will be a fun battle of length versus strength. The truth is OKC can survive if Williams and Holmgren have off nights, as long as they keep forcing turnovers. If one of them plays well every night and the role players hit their open three-pointers, the Thunder's defense will make it hard for Minnesota to score enough to win 4 games. The Wolves will need to shoot extremely well from the corners, and Edwards will have to outplay Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to have a chance. Don't bet on it. The Thunder have already been through their toughest test, and now they are ready to return to the NBA Finals for the first time since the Durant, Westbrook, Harden era. OKC is your pick if you want a team that plays defense like it's a contact sport and offense like a fast car. Look ready for the finals, predicted to win in 6 games against the Indiana Pacers. While this is our take on the playoffs, anything can happen. Share your opinion below and pass this video to your friends to get them involved too. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss our next NBA update.